MovieWeb.com.
Who's that? Please, get me out of here.
You want me to get wet on account of you? Hey, man, I got on Swiss cotton underpants.
I'm gonna drown, sir.
Come on, we'll get the time of death from autopsy.
Please! Come on, man. He ain't worth it.
You are crazy. Come on.
You okay?
The good news, Terrence, is I'll okay you to return to full duty. The bad news is that you'll be experiencing moderate to severe back pain.
Recognition of his leadership and tenacity, Lieutenant Terrence McDonough.
This is who we're looking for. Name is Donald Godshaw. You up to this?
Why wouldn't I be?
Still having problems with your back? You taking medication for it?
Only what the doctor prescribes.
Well, I wanted to ask you, because I love the symbolism, you know, the fact that you let scenes unfold from an alligator or iguana's point of view, or the dancing soul. Where did those ideas come from? And where is it just an opportunity to sort of let the audience in on Nick's character's point of view and how sort of messed up it was?
What you are mentioning, iguanas, dancing soul, and thing alligators like this, they were not in the screenplay, and they are my special touch. I always love to cast animals in important, significant parts. But of course, it's very hilarious. They are so demented in a way that I knew it was something which had to do with a story, and it had to do with Nicolas Cage's character, and would make something visible that you wouldn't see otherwise. So I really enjoyed these moments, and I have not seen anyone who has left the theater, has left this film without mentioning, the iguanas were wild, yes.
And did you
yes, they are.
Shoot a lot of the footage yourself?
I shot it myself, because it's like a demented vision under drugs. No one else sees it, but he sees it. What are these iguanas doing on my coffee table? So I shot them with a tiny camera, very close to the skin and coming to the eye, and of course I looked so demented and so perplexed. It couldn't get any better. And things like that I wouldn't like to leave to the cinematographer. I said, I have to shoot that.
Were you concerned at all about putting in this level of humor that it would take away from the seriousness of the subject matter?
No, I think it's not that. It still is a type of film noir, and film noir always is a result of insecurities, of finances collapsing. The Big Depression led to Chandler and Raymond Chandler and these great writers of the noir genre. And there was something in the air, and at the same time I had the feeling it should go a different step, where it got really demented, where there was such a thing as the bliss of evil. Which makes it almost hilarious. And it catches on with audiences, they sense it and they respond.
Yeah, and Nicolas Cage is amazing and so
Sure,
wonderfully over the top in this role, and which is something he does so well. And I was wondering, did you have to at all pull him back at all, or tell him to go further? Or was it just exactly what you were looking for?
No, most of it was very clear, disciplined professional work. Sometimes he knew, and I would tell him, this is a moment where you turn the hog loose. And he would go completely wild, and those are some of the most remarkable moments in the film, like with the dancing soul, when there's a shootout and he wants to have one man who is dead shot again. What for, says one of the henchmen of the bad guy, and Nicolas says his soul is still dancing. Shoot him again, and it's so strange. And you see a break dancer in the same costume twirling around, and it's completely demented.
That's great, yeah.
And an iguana passing by.
And then I wanted to ask you, what did you think about the original film Bad Lieutenant that sort of was a good starting off point for this movie? It's obviously not a remake, it's not a sequel, it's its own thing.
I've never seen the other film, and I think it was wise And of course, I know about the story of the other film, and I was told this has nothing whatsoever to do with a previous film with a similar title. And I knew that the title would lead to misunderstandings, that some people would walk in with expecting a different film, and it turns out to be something completely separate and new and different. So, but that's the beauty of it, get your surprise.
And finally, how important was the city of New Orleans to this story? Could you have done it in another city?
In principle, yes, but the best case scenario was New Orleans. For the producers, for tax incentives, for me, for being the American Gomorrah or Sodom and Gomorrah.
It's really a character in the film.
Yes, it is a
It's really
character.
families
And
in.
yes, and of course, Nicolas Cage tossed into that environment couldn't get any better.
You know the people are friendly there.
Do you think these guys care you're a cop?
Shoot him again.
What for?
His soul's still dancing.